Hey, what's going on, guys? Joe McCall here, Real Estate Investing Mastery Podcast. I got a great show for you today because I got the one and only, the clever investor himself, Cody Sperber, is going to be joining me here in just a second. Listen, I'm excited about this virtual summit that Cody is doing in a few weeks here. And he asked me to speak. Can you believe that? This little humble guy. I get to actually speak, share the stage virtually with Cody and some really, really cool people. So we're going to be talking about this upcoming virtual summit just happening in a couple weeks now. You need to get your tickets. And listen, Cody hooked me up. I twisted his arm and I said, listen, you got to give me a good deal, better than anybody else. And he said, okay, what do you want? I said, give me 50% off. And he said, okay, fine. So he gave me a special link that I'm going to give you guys to get 50% off tickets to this virtual summit coming up. And I'm going to be talking about marketing and automation, two of my favorite subjects. And it's going to be a lot of fun. And it's all virtual. You don't have to worry about traveling to Phoenix. It's going to be live. It's going to be intense. This is the event of the year coming up. And I want you to sign up. Now, Cody's in the house. I'm going to bring him in here. There he is. Cody, how are you, man?
What's going on, Joe?
Hey, I'm excited about this podcast. And listen, everybody, Cody has not been on StreamYard before. It's my favorite streaming platform. So I want you all to right now give him a shout out and say hi in the Facebook comments, in the YouTube comments, and just say hi. If you've got any, tell us where you're from, tell us your name. And I just want to show him what your comments and banners look like when I can bring them on the screen here. If you're listening on audio podcast, never mind, forget what I just said. But this is a great platform. I love Cody doing these podcasts because I get to interview really cool people, teach some cool stuff, and get some interaction from the listeners, people that are listening in. And, here we go. Graylin, my man, up in Michigan. Yo, Cody. Do you see that, man?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Graylin is the active investor realtor out of Michigan on Facebook there. So we're going to get a lot of people coming in here. If this is your first time, like the video, share it, and give us a comment down below, either on YouTube or Facebook. And especially if you have a question about what this event's going to be about. What is Cody up to these days? He's always driving some fancy green cars, and so, and always flashing these really cool checks in front of Chase Bank. So if you got some questions, if you want to ask us about this event, then give us a shout out. So Cody, how are you?
I've been good, man. Busy, good. Yeah, it's been a great year so far. Real estate is going really, really good. I got a ton of rehabs going. I think we're at 14 rehabs at the moment.
Oh man,
good. Yeah, no, it fluctuates. We're selling them as fast as we finish them. So we buy, probably 2 to 3 rehabs to start every week, maybe 4 rehabs a week.
Yeah.
And then, oh, that's awesome. Graylin says, love your free houses course. That's awesome. My rehabbing business is just, we're killing it. It's nuts what's going on out there.
Now you're in Phoenix, right?
Yep.
And you're finding Phoenix is one of the most competitive markets in the country.
Yeah.
Tons of
I got an advantage, Joe. I mean, I've been doing this for 16 and a half years. So I have a great network. Lots of people bring us deals at this point, but we're still aggressive on the lead gen. I mean, real aggressive. Nice. We're doing lots of pay-per-click. We're still putting out, I have some of my guys putting out bandit signs still, just guerrilla marketing. We post a ton in groups on Facebook and just a lot of DMing, a lot of building relationships, a lot of texting agents.
Really?
Yeah, just I want, let's do some business. What else are we pretty aggressive on? We have a couple lead companies that we're like their iBuyers for. And so, we have leads magically showing up and
all right.
Do direct mail still. We have
direct mail.
We do some direct mail. Yeah. Very targeted though, not wide. We're not not like at one point I was sending out a couple 100,000 direct mail pieces a month. And now it's like very refined, targeted buckets. Okay. We're using artificial intelligence and some other technology to kind of create those buckets and doing some really aggressive skip tracing, trying to find those golden addresses and then just repetitively hitting them over and over. So there's very specific zip codes with very specific types of deals. But that's how we get a lot of our rehabs. And then whatever we don't take down ourselves, we're wholesaling about a house a day, house every other day, which has been a blessing. It's So I started off wholesaling. Most people know me as a wholesaler, right?
Yeah.
And that business has kind of gone up and down over the years. But wholesaling's a young man's game. It's a lot of work. There's a lot of BS that goes on in wholesaling. Like you're right there on the last minute and the deal falls apart because, when there's a lot of money involved and it's quick cash, there's a lot of emotions and everybody wants to do it their way. And so I really, over the last probably 8 to 10 years, have really tried to keep more of the deals and start to build a portfolio for myself, not just take the quick cash.
Well, a lot of people wonder about that. Like, when do you decide to keep a deal? When do you decide to wholesale it? When do you decide to fix and flip it?
Yeah, I mean, I have 2 amazing partners now. So I've built an awesome team that helps me make those decisions. A lot of times my partner, Bryant, will come to me and say, hey, we need to keep this. And our goal is to keep at least 3 to 4 a month. That's kind of our goal. So if we can keep 3 to 4 houses every single month, we do this for the next 10 years, we'll be sitting pretty. We're also focusing a lot on smaller multifamily,
Okay.
120 units and below, that type of multifamily. There's some guys that only go for really big multifamily. In fact, one of the guys that's speaking at Clever Summit, his name's Bobby Castro. Yeah. Just since coronavirus hit last March, he added another 150 million into his portfolio. So he's at 450 million in multifamily. He won't touch anything under 200 units. Won't even really look at it. I'm the opposite. I'm not at that level yet. So
that for you, a smaller multifamily is under 120s, right?
Yeah, right now. And because I'm just getting into multifamily. I wasn't really ever a multifamily guy. I was a single family flipper and wholesaler, and I would own a 40 unit building, that kind of thing, but nothing really big. And now we're starting to pick up. I have 110 units right now in Kansas City that we're considering taking down, and it's in escrow, and we're going through the due diligence period, and we might take that down. I got to get some more courage to go for the bigger stuff.
Well, a lot of people coming to this event, this Clever Summit coming up, you're going to be talking a lot about multifamily deals. And sometimes that can be intimidating to some beginning investors who don't have money, and even in beginning investors who do have money, but they're like, how do I even get started in that without it being an all full-time, all-consuming, thing? You're able to do this though by what? By partnering with other people? Are you doing most of the work yourself? What are you doing there?
Yeah. So Joe, the reason I want day 3 of Summit to be heavy on multifamily is because I want to learn just like they want to learn. I have just as much anxiety, even though I've been doing real estate for 16 years, I have just as much anxiety going big as anybody else. And so I'm bringing in the best in the world to teach me the fundamentals and the basics alongside with the people watching. So Bobby's going to teach multifamily investing 101, how him and his wife started with $1,500 and grew it to a $450 million empire.
Nice.
And then I'm bringing in Vina Jetty. She is just an amazing syndicator and multifamily investor. So brilliantly smart. When she talks, I'm just I catch every fourth word. I'm trying to it brings me back to when I first started in real estate, where I couldn't quite get all the language.
Yeah.
She's using all these acronyms and stuff, and I'm taking notes, but she's got a couple $100 million portfolio, and she's great at syndications. And so between the 2 of them, that Sunday is going to be really powerful. And my goal is, yes, to learn enough of the language. Step 1 is always build the scaffolding in your brain to learn the language. Otherwise, you're going to get taken advantage of. Otherwise, you're going to make a bunch of bad calls and get stuck in a bad deal or not use the right paperwork. So step 1, learn the language. Step 2, find the right team and partnerships. So I'm lucky I got guys like you. If I wanted to dominate in, lease options, I'd call Joe. Yeah. Right. If I want to dominate in multifamily, I'll call Bobby or Vina. So yeah, that's my plan, is just get the proximity and then, get out there and try to get out of the classroom as fast as I can, and just knowing that I have these people in my corner, get in the game. Yeah.
Nice. All right. So Clever Investor does this summit every year. How many years have you done it?
Oh man. 8-9 years now. So last year we couldn't do it because of coronavirus. Normally it's in person. Normally we do it in Scottsdale, Arizona every August. I have a little over 1,000 amazing human beings come to Scottsdale. We throw this awesome party. I bring in the best speakers, trainers, and mentors in the world. Last time we did it, Andy Frisella was our headliner. He's a good friend of mine. And we had Joseph McClendon III, who's Tony Robbins' business partner, like just awesome real estate investor.
Graciosi,
Trent Shelton, Sean Terry, like everybody has spoken on my stages. And then we couldn't do it, and I was feeling like this like, man, I want to get back out there. I want to do it, but I also worried about people's health. So I'm like, screw it. We're going virtual. Next year, I'm definitely doing it in person. So I called up Ed Milet and I'm like, yo, Ed, would you be willing to speak virtually? And he said yes, which is awesome. He's one of my favorite people in personal development.
Yeah.
Love his podcast, love Ed. And he's also very financially intelligent. So I love, that's the underlying theme of all my events is just creating that intelligence. And then I called up Tom Bilyeu. Tom Bilyeu, founder of Quest, sold Quest to Atkins for $1 billion. How many times do you get to be around somebody that exited a company for $1 billion?
Wow.
Bobby Castro sold his company for $1 billion, now has $450 million worth of just real estate. Vina Jetty worth hundreds of millions of dollars. My friend Brett Tanner owned the largest Keller Williams office in Arizona.
Yeah.
Right? Has done $2 billion in sales as a real estate agent, named top 10 real estate agents in the country. And he is a master at creative financing. So we got him teaching selling using creative financing. So his whole philosophy is like, why would you ever be a real estate investor? You should be the bank. The bank's the best position in all of real estate.
Yeah.
And so he's going to break down what that means and how to be the bank and sell using creative financing techniques. I'm going to teach how to buy using creative financing techniques. You're going to teach how to find the deals so that way we can make, have the opportunities to wholesale, rehab, or pick up a rental using creative financing. Carlos Reyes is speaking. He's one of the top 10 wholesalers in the country. They spend $1 million a year on marketing. He's going to drop some knowledge bombs on systems and scaling. Yeah. So for those more advanced investors that want to scale their business, they're going to break down their business model. I feel like I'm missing some people. TJ Tahani, he's a master at short-term rentals.
Yeah.
So I wanted to bring in the Airbnb piece. He's going to teach you 3 ways to get into short-term rentals. We have Lori Harder. She is an amazing female entrepreneur that has a fund and is investing in companies. So if you want to learn a little bit about investing in businesses versus real estate, we're going to be talking about that. Dan Fleischman is going to talk about building a personal brand. He's one of the best in the world, spent $60 million last year on influencer marketing.
Yeah.
And is my business partner in some other businesses. Billy Jean is marketing.
Billy Jean is going to be there?
Yeah, I just talked to him this morning. He's working on it. I'm 99% sure. He wants me to move the schedule around and make it work for him. So I'm trying to make that happen. But yeah, he's spoken on my stages before. People love Billy Jean, loves talking marketing.
Yeah, he's awesome.
And I feel Cole Hatter.
Yeah.
Founder of Thrive. I mean, look, guys, I could go in, I don't want to bore you with the names of all these people, but just go to cleversummit.com and check out the speaker lineup. I get to party with my friends, which.
Well, and we also got, Cody gave me a 50% off. I mean, tickets are already $49. Okay. They're cheap enough as it is, but I know you guys like deals. So Cody agreed to let me give you a 50% off coupon since I'm one of the speakers. If you go to cleversummit.com/special, cleversummit.com/special, you get 50% off. It's like $25 for this 3-day virtual summit from these giants in the industry, in real estate, in social media, in large just businesses, people that really know their stuff. I'm excited about this, Cody. It's a lot. It's a big deal to put an event together like this. I mean, yeah, you're doing 1,000-person events, which is crazy. Nobody really knows how much work goes into doing that. But it's also a ton of work to do these virtual events like this.
Well, we already have
28, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's all going to be on Zoom, right?
Yeah, sorry, I cut you off. What, you say the dates again?
Yeah, March 26, 7, and 8.
Yeah.
Yeah. March 26, 27, 28. About 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Pacific each day. Is that right?
The first day, we're going to probably kick it off. It's, they just changed the time. See, Arizona's weird. We don't change the time here. So I think we're Mountain Standard Time. But yeah, we're going to kick it off. We'll send all the details to everybody who registers, but we're going to kick it off probably around noon.
Yeah.
On the first day, but then the second day and the third day, we'll go all day, kick it off at 9, go to 6. And what's cool is people can jump in and out. If they get a ticket, then the event's recorded, so you're going to get a copy of the recordings. And if you upgrade to a VIP ticket, which is $149, I have a professional note taker that is going to be taking notes the entire time, because I know 3 days of all this content, we're going to build a workbook, and then you get the recordings, and then you get the notes, the professional notes in the workbook.
You also get to chat with some of the speakers and the participants.
Yeah, so I built this amazing studio. I bought all these TVs, right? Like walls of TVs, and we're going to be able to see all the VIP ticket holders on the TVs. Everybody else will be on a separate rack of TVs, but the VIP ticket holders will be able to unmute and interact with.
Wow.
So it'll be very interactive with the VIP ticket holders. And then, if that's not enough, for 24 people, we have an in-person experience where right outside my studio, I have 24 spots where we have most of them filled. I think I have like 10 left. For $1,000, you could be in Arizona in my office and meeting and greeting the speakers and the trainers and just hanging out. I'm going to cater in food, maybe some libations. Is that how you say it? Libations? It's one of those.
Is that good or bad? I don't know.
I know. I don't know. We're gonna
have a bad connotation.
We're gonna have some fun.
Depending on where you're from. Cool. So I'm looking at this here. The general admission ticket includes tickets all 3 days, stream live, and you get the recordings. But the VIP ticket, you get to chat with some of the speakers, with the participants. You get the notes. I mean, that's crazy good.
I've never heard anybody do that, but I was sitting there thinking, like, 3 days is a lot, right, to sit and watch a Zoom. But if you're loving the content, we have people, like, we already have 1,000 people registered already that have bought a ticket. So I'll be at 2,000 or 3,000 people by the time Summit kicks off.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of hurt hands for 3 days taking notes. So I thought, hey, let's bring in professional note takers. That way they can jump in and out and do their thing. And then, you have about 10 spots.
You have about 10 spots left for the in-person. You actually have a small little office where somebody can come in person.
Yep. Yeah. I got a whole classroom right outside the studio. I'll show you here in a minute. I just don't want to walk around and screw up this nice shot, but I'll show you right at the end. Cool. But I have a private happy hour going down for the VIP ticket holders and a private Q&A with the speakers and trainers. Nice. So yeah. Here's the thing, Joe. A lot has changed last March, right? A lot has changed. And there's a lot of people that are trying to figure out what the power move is, where to focus their time and energy, which strategy, which lead gen strategy, which technique, right? I'm making more money right now, and my friends are making more money right now. My students are making more money right now than I've ever done in my entire real estate investing career.
Yeah.
We're doing multiple six-figure months consistently since March, April, May. Since May. It was like March and April, it like froze, and then it unfroze, and then all of a sudden we ramped. And real estate got really exciting again. And because of our systems and our lead gen, we were able to dominate. I'm picking up rentals where the sellers are giving me the houses for free. I'm picking up rehabs where the sellers are basically giving me their house and I'm rehabbing it and then throwing it on the market. I don't have to go get a hard money loan, right? The sellers, like when I take over the deal, they're baking in the loan for me. And so there's so many creative ways to get the money right now. There's so many creative ways to structure the deal. If you don't show up for Summit, you're going to be missing out on a lot of very important information that's working right now. And for $49 or $24, you can't find this information anywhere else. I pulled every favor I have with all my best relationships. So that way those 3 days are the most powerful 3 days in your life. And if we can, my promise to everybody that shows up is this will be a better virtual experience than anything you've ever done. We're going to party. We're going to network. Yes, there will be networking. There's going to be a lot of people. The first thing we're going to have everybody do is change the name on their Zoom to their name and where they're from.
Yeah. Because
I want people to start to connect. This is all about the community and the relationships that we need to create. The deal flow is going to start to happen, and we're going to hit it hard for those 3 days. And I can guarantee you they'll change your life.
Oh, it is. The people are commenting here too. First of all, cleversummit.com/special if you want the 50% off tickets. Cleversummit.com/special. Adams here says it's going to be fire.
That's
Ryan, awesome. I'll be there and take it all in. Had a great time at the last event 2 years ago. Will still be great virtually.
That's awesome.
And
it was.
Brian needs to get his head out of the gutter. Libations at the face-to-face.
Libations. I like it. I knew it was something like that.
Yeah. But all right. So I'm going to go through some frequently asked questions that you have here on your website. Do you mind, Cody? Is that all right?
Yeah, let's do it.
Will I be able to ask questions?
If you're a VIP ticket holder, yes.
Awesome. Good. And if you want more information on being a VIP ticket holder, just check out the link, cleversummit.com/special. And by the way, guys, I'm not getting anything out of this, right? I'm doing this because I love what Cody's doing. I've learned so much from Cody over the years. I don't know if I've ever even told him this, but Cody is an amazing investor. He's an amazing educator, super passionate, and he's got integrity, right? He does what he says and he says what he does. And, I get asked a lot to speak at events. I turn a lot of them down. But when Cody offered this to me, I said, yeah, for sure, man, anything for you. So this is going to be really good. I'm excited about speaking. And I looking at the people that you have coming, and I'm a little nervous because these are such good speakers, man.
You're going to crush.
It's going to be awesome.
All right. Gonna crush. You're one of my favorite trainers as well, just so you know that.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much, man. All right. So who is the Clever Summit for? Do you have to be an experienced investor? Is it okay if I'm a new investor? Who's it for?
Yeah, so we got a little something for everybody. It's for new investors. If you haven't got a deal and you're feeling really stuck, I know that feeling. It took me 9 months to get unstuck when I was first getting into the business. So we're going to break it down into very simple to follow terms and systems and processes so you can get plugged in. And I think it's also for more advanced investors that are maybe doing a few deals a month, but really want the system so they can scale. But more importantly, that's even for guys like me that have been in the business for 16 years, and I want to learn more about multifamily. So a couple days of single family and then that power day of multifamily. So we're really trying to blend everything together and bring in the experts. So that way, no matter what you're into, you're going to get so much value out of it that it'll be worth your time.
Yep. What if I can't make it? The event will be recorded. Okay. Can my spouse or business partner attend with me, Cody?
Yep. Yeah. I mean, we make it pretty easy. I mean, it's a Zoom link. I can't see who's on the other side watching. So
yeah.
If they want to watch with
or
you.
What you're wearing.
Yeah. Wear pants.
Yes. Okay. Is this a pitch fest?
No.
Come on. No. Why not? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. I don't like it when people are selling a whole bunch. So we just made a decision that at Summit there wasn't going to be any outside sales. Yeah, that's it. It's just us.
Nice. And then the speakers again. We've got Cole Hatter, Tom Bilyeu.
Yeah.
Lori Harder, I'm looking forward to seeing Ed Milet. That's going to be awesome. Brent Tanner, I've heard of him, rock star in the Keller Williams world. Bobby Castro, Dan Fleischman, Vina Jetty, Carlos Reyes. I love Carlos. Super humble guy, super successful, and he's one of the nation's largest wholesalers. TJ is going to be talking about short-term rentals. And then yours truly, I'm going to be talking about some advanced marketing things. And you know what? The marketing I'm going to be teaching is not going to be, very expensive marketing, something you have to spend thousands of dollars for. I'm going to break it down to real simple stuff that not a lot of other people are doing. One of the things I'm looking forward to showing you guys how to do is something I've been doing recently, and I've been blown away by some of the success that I'm seeing some of these students have doing it. And it's finding deals that are older MLS listings. and how to get a VA to actually do all of that marketing and reaching out for you. It's going to be killer. All killer, no filler, as I like to say. So March 26th through 28th, cleversummit.com. If you want more information about the speakers and what it's going to be all about, if you want to get the half off ticket, you need to go to cleversummit.com/special, cleversummit.com/special. And yeah, Brian here is saying, again, awesome group of speakers, including Cody and Joe. I can't wait. I think this might be the first event we've ever spoken at together, Cody. Maybe a flip to freedom event.
Yeah, well, I've seen you a couple times and we've crossed paths, but I think you're right. I don't think we've actually had an opportunity to share the stage. So it'll be good. And you'll get a lot of exposure to a lot of my community. They need to know you. They need to know what you have going on. Just for everybody listening, Joe will send me like a screen recording of like the cool stuff he's doing. And I like run to my real estate team. I'm like, watch this video, steal this concept, go right now. Because it's always like the thing. I think your superpower is figuring out the most efficient and effective way to use things that are accessible to everybody and systematize them so that way you can create a process where you can go and generate a lead, get on the phone with the seller, and get a result. Mm-hmm. And not a lot of people think like you, like even the StreamYard stuff, like you always figure out tech way ahead of everybody else.
Oh,
how do you do that? Like, is that just like it comes easy to you? Because,
a lot of it has to do with doing this podcast, interviewing other people. I talk to a lot of my students. Some of my best ideas come from my students. This whole Podio thing, when I first introduced that to the real estate investing world in the US, came from a student, and it kind of took the world by storm, in our local real estate circles. Right. And then a lot of the marketing that I do, it's from interviews and talking to people that they don't have their own podcast. They're just doing deals. And I talk to them and find out what they're doing. I'm like, that is fantastic. I need to teach more people about that. But, and
then you just nerd out for like hours until you crack the code.
Yeah. Well, I'm always thinking about, just a minute. I'm always thinking about like, this marketing, how can I get it done for me in spite of me? And, one of the best questions I've ever asked myself, and I learned this from a real successful businessman here in St. Louis. In fact, I overheard him coaching somebody else. I shared an office with him, and I overheard him saying this to somebody else. He said, you write down a list of everything that you have to do in your business. And then you ask yourself a real simple question. How can I do none of this? Right? It's simple. It's super profound. How you make a list. How can I do none of this? How can I get someone else to do this all for me? And the most important thing in our business is marketing. Everything is marketing, and marketing is everything. And it comes down to, we're not in the real estate investing business. We're in the marketing business. So that is always what's going on in my head. It's like, how can I help people get the marketing done for them in spite of them? Where it's whether it's a software, whether it's a virtual assistant, or whether it's just, working real hard for a few minutes a day to reap a bunch of leads coming in. So, and marketing is always evolving. What worked a year ago doesn't work today. Sometimes what worked 5 years ago, nobody's doing anymore because they don't think it's working anymore, but actually it is working now again. Right. So they're just developing systems and processes. That's what I'm super passionate about. And that's what I'm going to be talking. And I know some of you guys are going to get some good value out of that. A lot of you are. So I'm looking forward to it.
It's always the number one complaint. There's like 2 or 3 complaints in the real estate biz, right? I need to find the money to fund the deals. So there's always a money challenge. If you can solve that, you're in the game. And then lead gen, right? If I need more opportunities. And then the last part is conversions, right? If you don't know what to say, doesn't matter how many leads you generate. So you put those 3 pieces together and you start to win. So,
well, I'm so encouraged by what you were saying too at the beginning, because everybody thinks the market's oversaturated. It's too hot. There's no deals out there. And I hear that from so many people. And it's like, how can you find a deal when all you got to do is stick a sign in the yard and you get multiple offers above asking price that can close in a week? But I'm telling you, man, we're finding deals. You're finding deals. They are out there.
Yeah. So my buy box is very specific, right? And once you know who you are as an investor, people can bring you deals, right? And that's when it gets fun because like I know exactly what deal, where, how much I want to spend, what it needs to look and feel like, so I can make a buying decision real quick. And I tell everybody my buy box, right? As a professional developer and rehabber, this is, who I am. I even send over proof of funds constantly to different agents and different wholesalers and stuff. Hey, here's my buy box, is what I'm looking for, just in case you forget. Before you blast it out, before you text it, before you call anybody, I want to be in your top 5. That's how I talk to people. I want to be your first 5 conversations that you have whenever you get a good deal. Mm-hmm. And you do that enough, and a couple of things starts to happen. One, everybody brings you deals. And even if I go, oh, that's so close, but it's not quite there, I'll still lock it up and then re-wholesale it. And I have the courage to go hard on my earnest money because I know my numbers so well that if I lock it up, I'm willing to take the risk on $1,000 or $2,000 in order to make 15 or 20. So that's number one. Number two, raising money becomes very easy for me because if I know my buy box, and that's the type of properties I have a ton of before and afters. I have a story to tell. Now in private money lenders, they know what to expect as well. I can show them my last 5 or 10 deals and just say, look, this is what we do. If you want to play with us, this is the type of returns you can expect. I have 2 different ways that I raise money. One way is just a straight, 10 or 12% return on their money. And then the second way is a smaller guaranteed return, like 6 or 7 or 8%, but then they can earn, get up to 20% equity splits with us.
I've been doing that too, Cody. That's interesting. I don't remember who I saw doing that, but I thought that's really cool. What they did is they gave their investors the option. I'll pay you either 8% or 15% of the profits. And I think private investors like those kinds of options, like, oh,
well, here's my thing is I don't have a fund, right? So it's they give me money and I go buy a deal. Mm-hmm. And for me, if I can leverage private money with hard money, so like we have a great hard money lender in town that does, 10% first trust deed position loans. They'll lend 90% of the acquisition and 90% of the rehab, which means I got to come up with 10% of the acquisition and 10% of the rehab. Well, if I buy a $300,000 or $400,000 house, every single time I'm buying, I need 40 grand. I need, most of my rehabs are between 40 to 100K in rehab. That's a lot of capital that I have. If I have 20 rehabs going at one time, I got $1 million out on the street. It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
So I bring in the private lenders and I say, look, if you don't want me to leverage your money with hard money, then you got to give me a bigger chunk of money so I can buy an entire project and I'll pay you, 8, 9, 10%. You'll be in first trustee position and that's that, right? Yeah. Money to one project, but they got to give me 450 grand. Or a lot of people come to me and they say, I got 200 grand. I don't have 450 grand, but I want to do a deal with you. I say, great. We'll take your 250 grand. We'll split it into 2, 125 grand each. And I'm going to buy 2 houses where you're going to be in now second trustee position. You're going to be the bridge money. And I'm going to give you 8% guaranteed or 6% guaranteed as a, worst case scenario, and or 20% of the profits, whatever is higher.
Yep.
And I will guarantee that you won't lose a penny because I will cover any losses if there are any. And last year I had 2 losses.
Really?
Out of the 100 rehabs I did, I lost money on 2.
So what you're saying is to that private investor, I'll guarantee you get the first, $25,000 profit.
Well, what I'm telling them is at a bare minimum, they're going to get their guaranteed return. They're 8% or they're 6%, even if I end up losing money or not making a dollar.
Yeah.
But if we make a bunch of money, like I just did one in Tempe, like this is the market we're in. I bought it in December. Okay. At the end of December. And then we renovated it, put $65,000 into the property. I paid $440 for it. So now I'm into it for let's just call it $505, $510. Okay.
Yeah.
I sold it in 1 hour. The second it hit the market, 1 hour later, we had multiple offers. for I listed it for 710, and I was pushing the market. I got an offer that offered me 735.
Wow.
Appraisal waiver, right? No contingencies, no repairs. Just that's the market we're in. So it's like, wow. And I had an investor in on that. That's going to get 20% of those profits. It just happened to be a home run.
Excellent.
Right. And so that person who put in the 125 is going to make, I don't know what that return is, but if they get 20% of 150,000 or whatever kind of return it, I mean, it's massive.
Yeah. 30 grand.
30 grand on 125 in a 4-month window.
Something like that. That's good.
It's really good.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'll turn his money 3 or 4 times throughout the year. And so that's why the private investors that don't have a lot of money, they like that kind of a deal. I don't do it very often. I have to really like you, but it's like one of those things where they're not a pain in my butt. They know they're going in second trustee position. That's how I was able to scale to 20 rehabs at one time, because I got a handful of private money guys that are willing to be a little bit more aggressive with their money, leverage it with the hard money. And next thing you know, I take the 250,000, split it into 2. Now they have a higher chance of hitting a home run because we're running 2 at a time and we're turning it every 4 months. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so they're rolling the dice going, come on, Sperber, go hit me a home run. And I love it because I can scale.
Oh, that's awesome. All right, guys. So again, cleversummit.com/special. We're going to be talking about things like this throughout the 3 days, March 26th through 28th at cleversummit.com. If you want to get more information on who the speakers are, if you want the 50% off tickets, go to cleversummit.com/special. All right. Cody, were you going to show us your office, your new studio? That'd be,
yeah.
Are you able to turn your camera around there?
Yeah, it's on a thing, so I got to figure this out.
You got a new office recently, didn't you?
Yeah, let's see. All right, so I'm going to try and get this. So here's the office, got a digital whiteboard. This is where we're going to stream Summit from.
Nice.
You can see here, got a cool, we got walls of TVs everywhere. I got a whole command center.
Ah, cool.
Over here, we got podcast. You're going to have to teach me how to podcast, Joe.
Come on.
All right. So I'll show you this real fast.
Are you on an iPhone right now, or is this
No, I'm on my computer. So I'm carrying all this heavy equipment around, but I want to, don't do that. So you can see right outside the studio.
Nice.
Is a classroom.
Cool.
So we'll be in there streaming. And then everybody will be out here hanging out, networking. You could see I have 24 spots set up.
Nice.
And half of them are already sold, but we'll be out here watching. And then when the speakers come out, they'll be able to network, answer your questions, mingle. And then out here, I just gutted this entire space. I'm building an event center right here.
Oh, wow.
So this is all going to have tables, and we're going to put a whole event center out here. So it's going to be a good time.
That's cool, man. Good for you. What an awesome office. This is my office right here. I got new white shiplap on my wall.
It looks good.
I got a brand new shelf. I just put that in like 5 minutes before we came live.
That's amazing.
Anyway, man. Hey, I'm looking forward to this. cleversummit.com/special. I'm going to be one of the speakers there, and I'm going to be talking a lot about marketing and systems and how you can do this simple marketing and outsource it to a virtual assistant. It doesn't cost a lot of money, but we're going to be, this is for the beginning investor and the experienced investor. You're going to learn a lot about raising private money, something that Cody just gave some really, dropped some really awesome bombs there. So cool. Anything else, Cody, to wrap this up?
My real estate team's going to be there. We're going to show you all of our KPIs, all of our, how we're generating, what leads we're generating, how we're generating them, what kind of returns we're getting,
nice.
How many leads it takes to convert into a deal. We'll just pull back the curtain and just show you the business model of what my operation does. Like I said, we're doing a couple $100,000 a month consistently, and we're scaling pretty aggressively. I can see us potentially hitting $1 million a month within the next few months, because we're getting that aggressive with lead gen and all of that. And You guys.
Just Arizona?
No, we're in a couple different markets. You got to go a little virtual if you're going to scale that big. But we are building a cash buyers list in about 7 different states pretty aggressively right now.
Nice.
And we're starting to do some test marketing to see what strategy is going to work the best there.
Yep.
And we're just going to light it up. And if we can duplicate ourselves in 7 different states, we can hit that $1 million a month goal.
Well, get this though. I've been doing some direct mail in some of these smaller communities for vacant land, and I'm getting 5 to 10% response rates on postcards. Can you believe that?
Yes, I can. And that's like what it used to be like back in the good old days. So if you can bring that back to what's going on right now, it's game on.
Yeah. So a lot of cool things happening. And the things I love about these summits and these events like this is you get a kind of a feel for what is working now in this market, what's working today that people are having success with. And so that's what we're going to be talking about, the whole thing. cleversummit.com/special to get the 50% off tickets. And if you want just information on who the speakers are and what we're going to be talking about, just go to cleversummit.com. But again, do .com/special to get 50% off.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I'll leave everybody with this. I've been to a couple seminars that changed my life.
Yep.
Whenever I'm around other people that are on the same journey as me, so many amazing things happen. First off, I get inspired. Second off, I always walk away with at least 3 or 4 amazing strategies that I can implement right away. The friendships and relationships that I create move the needle for me every single time. I have some of my best relationships from those seminars I used to go to when I was first getting in the game. So can 3 days change your life? Yes. Can your $24 worth of Starbucks change your life? No. The reason I made it so affordable is because I want everybody listening to this to be able to afford to get this powerful information so they can have the same experience I did. If we plant some seeds that dramatically shifts the trajectory of your life financially and relationship wise, then we've done our job. And that's my mission. Like I said, it's not a pitch fest. It is a power fest. It's a tactical strategy fest. We want you to leave with a game plan so you can keep that momentum going. And that's my guarantee to you. You're gonna leave knowing exactly what steps to take afterwards.
Nice. Very cool. Well, thanks for taking the time to be on, Cody. Thanks for inviting me to speak at this thing. I'm really looking forward to it.
Let's do it. And there's some good people. I was refreshing, we got a lot of people just already that just grabbed their tickets. So I'm super excited to see everybody.
Oh, cool. All right. We'll see you guys later. Thanks again, Cody. Hang on. I got one more question for you after we get off here, but cleversummit.com/special, cleversummit.com/special. And we'll see you guys later. Thanks, Cody.
See ya.